everybody. Good evening. It's Friday night. Time for 6 and 12 Medical Intuitive with me, Lynn Rene MacDonald. And we have a live audience here. Tonight we have Mark and Steve and Sophia here. And we have our usual crew that works with us. And it's Ray and Jennifer. And Jennifer's already starting her antics. They're crazy. So anyways, I'm going to wait a few minutes. We'll do our introduction and putting on some oils, an oil mixture here. It's one of my favorites. It's called Transformation. I believe Young Living makes it. And its name is really great. It assists with transformation. God, universe, love tells me that it assists with transformation, like releasing stuff, helping you through metaphysical changes as well as physical changes and earth world things to transform you, to help you transform into your best you. So we have a mixture here. We do sell it at our Shoppe and Center. We make our own mixtures as well as we have other people's mixtures from all over the country and all over the world. However, this particular one we did an oils class that we did. We use oils to work as part of our natural medicine gifts and tools from love energy or magic, or God, so to speak, love energy magic, God, and we use essential oils for their amazing healing properties, okay? As well as many other multiple different types of healing gifts in our practice and what we do here while working and guided by God or love, all right, to get the best solutions for everybody. That said, it looks like, is that Debbie? Is that?
No, it's Likia.
Oh, hi. How do I say it? I always check out your name. I'm so sorry. Hi, Likia. Good to see you. I'm sorry if I didn't get your pronunciation right. Thank you for coming. And thank you, everybody on here, for coming. I'm already losing my rings and stuff. I think I got one right here. All right. So we were just talking about essential oils. They're great tools for helping you to heal you. All right. They're based in natural medicine, depending on where you get your stuff. Right. Two companies that we really absolutely love that God guides us to. High-end are high-end, high vibrational are doTERRA and Young Living. Fantastic for those being the brands and the qualities that they bring to the table that are best for you for your best health, okay? That said, we're here live tonight from the Institute for Christ Consciousness and the Copper Dragon here in Virginia Beach, and this show is all about health. It's all about working with God or love energy to get you the best health answers, solutions, gifts, tools, love energy, magic, everything that we need to assist you for all the answers, God's honest truth of it, for what's going on with you, what's going on with your pet, how to help with behavioral issues, addictions, physical health stuff. Why did somebody cross over? And it's amazing because what people don't realize is your health is your happiness, and health is in what? Everything. Health is in everything. So tonight's show, every Friday night, we do 7:15 p.m., and it's all about any and all questions you have for your health. We usually do try to get to the questions from the weekend before or the week before show that are leftover, so leftover meaning we just didn't get to them, right? So that we can get to everybody so they can get the best answers from love energy and or the directions guided by the highest knowing of love of where they need to go, gifts, tools, everything they need. So this is what we do here, okay? So basically we talk to love, we work with God, we work with love to get you the best answers and solutions by understanding universal law and how things truly work with all that is God and all that is love, okay? So tonight's show, again, is 6 and 12 Medical Intuitive. It's every Friday night at 7:15. We have a live audience here. You can come here. If you can donate, great, please do. You can send us money Venmo or PayPal, as well as via the shop. What?
Oh, sorry, I think it's
No, that's all right. That's all right. We just said Venmo, didn't we? Yeah. Anyways, wake up. Yeah. Come on. So you can send money or your donation through the shop or whatever, the Shoppe and Center here through the mail, as well as you can share what we do to help other people if you feel it in your heart. Okay, so tonight what we're going to do is we're going to answer some questions. I'm sure amazing gifts and tools and magic wisdom is going to come in from love energy along with the whole entire show. with everything we answer, as it usually does. So we're all learning at the same time, right? Just like when I get these gifts or I have these gifts, we all have these gifts. We all help and assist each other. And as I answer your questions, I learn too, because the energy comes through me and I'm a channel for this. This is what I do, but I work with love all the time. I work with God all the time. And it doesn't matter what religion you are or what you call it. It's all about love, working with love. That said, we're going to do your questions tonight. I don't think do we have anything from last week? No, we don't have anything from last week. So we're going to start with your questions if you have questions. And if not, we're going to move into some, whatever God guides us to, basically. All right. For the best wisdom for tonight. All right. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for donating and your donations in the past as well. Thank you, Mark. I saw you. Just messing. All right. So, okay. So who do we got first?
I have a question.
Mm-hmm. Jennifer decided tonight that it's all about her. So Jennifer's question is, Mark's laughing back there. Oh, my ring's flying off. Shit. What a night already. So again.
I want to clear whatever blocks me from even just stretching.
When you say just stretching?
I'm not working out and I don't do anything really, but I want to stretch at least. And I feel annoyed that I'm not stretching, and I just want to block me or clear whatever blocks I have or something for stretching.
Okay. All right. So Jennifer,
I know I would feel better.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. I can
or
tell you.
Start to feel better, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, because you're moving, you're getting your blood flowing, you're waking up your body, so that totally is in alignment. Sure, for feeling good. Absolutely. Okay. So Jennifer is asking to clear any and all energies in her that stops her from stretching, because she wants to stretch more. Do like a stretching routine. When do you want to do it?
When I'm at the shed.
Okay, so she wants to do it at work. It's great when you have a job that you can do your health routine at work, right? So, like in the middle of the day, let's create this. So, what do you want to happen?
Yeah, I want to stretch in the middle of the day, I guess. I don't know what. That's my other problem. I don't know what I want to happen.
The other problem she has is she doesn't know what she wants or wants to happen. Okay, so. Thanks, God, for us being clear on the best solutions, gifts, tools, magic, love, energy, magic for Jennifer with all this. Let's ask that you stretch once a day at the time that is best for you from love, all right, at the best amount of time and the best routine to do it from love. Okay, thank you, God, for these gifts for Jennifer and all of us, if we so desire it from love. Now, not everybody can do it at work, but if we can, thanks God for that for us, right? And let's clear our blocks energetically and in all that they are, emotionally and in all that they are. And ask God to be free of this energy that stops us from being able to stretch and doing this whole routine here. Thank you, God, for these gifts for Jennifer now, please, and anything and everything in her that stops her from doing this, i.e. wanting to take care of herself, wanting to do the right thing for her body, being disconnected from her body, not wanting to do it, being frustrated, feels like she can't, just aggravated, doesn't feel like it, fights it, doesn't want to do it, all energies that is all of this and has to do with this and is stopping this, all right, and is all that is negative or unwell or unbehooving in this case with all of this for Jennifer's best health and everything she's asking for now. Please clear, heal, and change and release all that. Let us connect to it emotionally and in all that it is. Let's feel it, clear it, heal it, release it, and be free of it. And thank you, God, for this for us with all this energy tonight. And in place of that, put the best way to be from love in the purest form in this reality, any reality, and all that is. And thank you, God, for that for us. So thank you, God, for these gifts for Jennifer and all of us who so desires it in the best way for us and all, or something better. So there you go. So this shall start to change, right? And then if you don't feel like doing it in the moment, like say tomorrow you're going to go do stretching, right? And you're like, fuck, I still don't feel like doing it. All right, just give it time. Let go and let God. The second you ask love energy, the second you ask God for anything, it starts to happen. So what you're going to do is in the moment, if you're just still not feeling it, ask love to clear that out of you. Ask love that you do feel it. Ask love that you're excited about it. Ask love that you want to do it in the moment. And this is for everybody here. And know that it's already happening, and it's in universe and your soul have got this. All right?
Okay.
All right. Yep. All right. So who's next, Ray? Do you have a question?
Personally?
Yeah, personally. I'm going to let my people go first tonight, I guess. They're always helping me, right? Yeah.
I do,
All
but
right.
it's kind of weird.
Okay. Okay.
I've always sneezed in the sunlight. Like, whenever I walk out of a dark room and I go out into the bright sun in summer, like, I always sneeze. And I remember Googling it once, and it's like, I think 20% of the population or something does that. But I'm curious what you get on why that happens.
All right. What's the God's honest truth? Ray is saying that she sneezes. When exactly?
When I walk into sunlight after being, like, in a dark room or inside or something, like, when it's really bright sunlight, I always sneeze. I've, like, one sneeze and I'm done.
Okay, so, like, she says that she sneezes when she goes out into the bright sunlight. Is it always from a dark room, or is it indoors, or what do you feel, or is it a little bit different?
I think it's whenever it's really bright outside and I'm coming from an indoor or dark space, if that makes sense.
Okay. Okay, God, what's the God's honest truth about what is this with Ray and her health and why she does this? What's coming in for you is it's like an adjustment. It's like an adjustment of going indoors to outdoors to change, all right? So it comes out in the physical energy of your sneeze, okay? It's like reacclimating, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Is there anything else that goes with this for her, God? I'm going to pick up anything else for that. No, that's the primary reason. That's the primary reason. And when I get in that space, I'm like, well, what does it have to do? Does it have to do with any fairy stuff, any angel stuff? I feel like you've done this from lifetimes, and it's almost like, if you wanted to say, it's like almost like an anxiety reaction that comes out in your nose, like stressing about being from one environment into another, having to readjust, so then it comes out in like a physical symptom, like a sneeze. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. So what they're telling me is if you work on the stuff that, let's say, the houses and the placements in astrology, which is in your soul, that creates this to happen for you. In other words, your anxiety, your stress, massive, third house placements, your Chiron, your Black Moon Lilith, like we always talk about, guys, in astrology, astrology is the reflection in Earth world of what is really going on in your soul. So it's going to tell you the truth about everything. So this has been something you've done for lifetimes. But when I hook it up into other energies, the main core of it is this. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. And so it would be in the aspects of your third house, communication, as well as what also comes in is the 11th house, all right, or Aquarius energy, right? Because it's like being around different people, different environments, being comfortable with being you, right? Your first, second, and third houses as well, being comfortable being you. As you work on your self-love space, this too will change.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Neat stuff, right? Yeah, it was really cool. Something different. We don't always hear this kind of stuff, So thank you for sharing, because we learn from it, Like I ask, and then I'm like, okay, they're telling me this. I feel like there's more. What else is there, And it's great because people wouldn't normally associate physical symptoms a lot of times with what's going on in our souls, right? Yeah. But you can really see that in your everyday life with like alcoholism and drug addiction, right? You can see in the mirror of in the reflection of the people who go to, let's say, drugs and alcohol as their go-to is as a self-medicating way of doing things, right? You can see that in their own torment within their souls and their behavior and what they act and how they act out. And so this is just the reason we're talking about this right now is in reference to what I just said with Ray, because it really is truly that what happens in here, right, metaphysically, happens out here physically, whether it's in your physical body, through anxiety, through stress, through sadness, through emotion, through tormented souls, like I just said with addiction, right? So this is proof here, right here in Earth world, right, Saturn's Earth world, that tells you the truth, the God's honest truth about how things manifest in everything, when normally we think it just works like A, B, C, D, and that's just how it works, when really God is infinite. And if nobody teaches us, or we don't talk to God, or we are not in our hearts, or are not open to new things, right, or understanding the truth, or asking for the God's honest truth, then we never really truly know, right? Okay, so that said, who else has questions? Anybody in the audience tonight? Mark, I feel like you're going to say something.
I do, yeah. It's about Lucky. So his cough has been, getting worse again.
Okay.
And so I wasn't sure if it was the medicine that the vet gave him that was making him, sick.
Mm-hmm.
Because I changed his food, a couple times, and I noticed that his food was doing it. So I finally got him on some really good food that, works for him.
Okay.
And I was thinking about putting him back on the medicine that the vet gave me for his breathing.
Okay.
Dr. Hancock gave me for his breathing.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I mean, I felt good about it, but I was just kind of wondering what your thoughts were.
Okay, because the last time I talked with you about Lucky was a while ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mark is asking questions about his dog Lucky's health. And this is a really good example because Lucky's health, just like our health, is always changing, right? Depending on the circumstances, the environment, but ultimately what's going on in here, right?
Yeah.
So dogs have feelings too. Right? So Lucky has feelings, right? And everybody, I mean, you got to be an idiot if you can't see that your dog doesn't have feelings. You know what I mean? Yeah, right? So, however, the reason that we're talking about Lucky is because Mark's asking questions about what's going on with Lucky's health. He says Lucky is having a hard time breathing again, and he works with one of our favorite, like my all-time favorite veterinarian, Dr. Hancock, and she's lovely. She works with you, and she honors and respects you, and she's amazing, isn't she? She has such a big heart. And that's the most important thing with a doctor is that she's in her what? Heart. Her heart, right? Any kind of healer. Anything you do, you want to be in your heart because then you're going to be the greatest you can be at whatever it is that you do, right? All right. So that said, Mark's having some challenges with Lucky again. So with all health is always changing depending on what we got going on, our destiny, what's going on with the stars, all these different things that are all the elements of everything that is God and love that is personal to us as well as in the collective. And Lucky too is part of that, right? And your relationship with Lucky is as well. So I haven't really talked too much to you in a while. Hasn't it been a few months? It's been at least 2 or 3 months since we last talked, isn't it? Or we sat down and really talked in depth about Lucky. And not that that's bad, right? It is what it is. But I feel like you've gone in a different direction, yes?
Okay.
Well, no, I'm asking you. Because we haven't talked about him and worked together. And I'm not saying that you have to or you should.
The cell salts that we
okay.
put on, yeah.
Right. I didn't know what you're doing because I haven't talked to you about it. So
he's still on the cell salts that you suggested.
Yeah.
We put him on, and that seemed to help for a while.
Right, but then you got to make changes. Do you see? So it's not that I'm saying, oh, you're bad for not coming to me, and I don't want. That's not what I'm trying to do here. I'm just saying, here's what's going on, so that I can help you and Lucky to be aware that every now and then, and all of us really, me too, we have to make changes in our health. Like I started down this road, and we've all been really sick with this mold sickness and infections and all this crazy shit going on, right? Mm-hmm. So we started out guided by universe with certain vitamins, minerals, herbs, all this stuff. But after we've been on them for a while, right, I'm always talking to God. I'm like, okay, God, what do we do now? How I feel tells me everything. That I have to make changes over here or do this or do that. Do you see what I'm saying? Right. So this is all I'm saying, so you've gone down a path, and it makes sense that you would want to do your own thing, of course, because that's human nature, right? As well as you have wonderful gifts too, right? And you love Lucky and you're connected to him. So who better to make choices for Lucky than his dad? Just like as a mom, right? I do that as well. So why we're talking about this is so that you can be aware that we have to make changes with this stuff. Just like medicines, like you took him off the medicine for a while, and now you're thinking about putting him on the doctor medicine, right? Yeah. So you keep that medicine for when you need it. So, but you also said that you changed his food, right? So one of the things that will really help you with this is get a notebook log so you're writing what food he's eating, how much he's eating, what's going on. Because you've had Lucky for a while, and this will help you become a better healer and become more cognizant and a better parent as well. Like all of us could do this, right, with our health and our stuff. So we know what we're doing and what's going on, what kind of works, what doesn't, what time of year it is, what time of day is going. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So this comes in for you really strong so you can get a scope, because it feels to me what's coming in is that each time you work with Lucky, you have patterns that changes things and goes and does this and that and this, and it's not always the most beneficial for you or Lucky, and then you dump a lot of money into it, right? Or you put more money into it and you invest all this money into it, and if we did the book thing and you worked with God, pray on everything, which I feel like you're working on, right? And you were more cognizant of what you're actually doing. And this is for all of us, because how many of us just do and live and we don't even think about what we're doing? You know what I mean? Or we don't write it down. Are you writing it down?
No.
Okay. So this is why it's coming in to help. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what's coming in. But I do feel like this has to do more so with springtime allergies. All right. So yeah, with springtime allergies more than any of the other stuff that you're doing. So my question for you is, why did you change his food? Like, what triggered it? Did you feel that? Like, do you do that every so often? Because every time we tend to change a dog's food, they can have a propensity to get an upset stomach. You know what I'm saying? Right. So there's all these different things here that we got to take into accordance or consider. Right. So what they're telling me, though, is that it is allergen related. So let's think about, are the windows open? Is it pollen time? What time of the year is it? Is he outside in the grass? You know, what's going on? Do you know what I mean? Is there a lot of dust in your house? Is there mold? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. But I feel like this is a seasonal thing. Do you remember last year in like springtime? Did you go through something like this?
Well, I just got him like last May, at the end of May last year.
Okay.
So I haven't had him for a full year yet.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and he was in bad shape when I got him. I mean, he's much better off than he was when I got him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And kudos to you. Rescue is awesome. Rescue is awesome, man. Rescue dogs, rescue animals, rescue is awesome. Totally support rescue in the healthiest, best way from love. Of course, we'll talk about in the future on the show the right thing, doing the right thing from love, the best kind of rescues into the future, because not all of them are where you want to be. And it's not because of the pet, it's because of the things that they're doing that aren't in alignment with love, right? But going back to you, did you have more you want to say?
Well, I was just going to say, because when they did the x-rays on him, they found like there was some stuff going on in there because of the heartworms that he had. And that's why she put him on the medicine. So I guess that the allergies maybe are just like...
Well, I feel like it's phlegm. I feel like it's phlegm and congestion.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is that what she said to you? Did she say that to you? Like, is he, like, let me ask you this. He's going... Is he doing any of that? Yeah, because sorry, I know I'm great at this, right? I'm great at imitating dogs, right? No, because I remember the last time he was here, he did something like that, and that is correlates with that. You know, but what you don't want to do is just keep him on the cell salts indefinitely or any kind of medicine indefinitely. So you want to switch up. So all I'm saying is, you don't have to pay for an appointment or whatever. Just, come here like you do now. If it's not in your budget right now or whatever, right? Just check in. You know what I mean? With spirit. You know what I mean? If you look at it like I'm talking to God or I'm getting the answers from love energy with Lynn, if you look at it in a different perspective, maybe you can be more open to it, right? Yeah. So, but also, like just like you checked in with Dr. Yu, right? I call her Dr. Yu all the time. That's her old name. We change as we go. So, what salts do we have him on?
7 and 8.
Yeah, that's what I'm feeling like. So, did you take him off of those? He was on 7 and 8. Did you take him off?
I took him off for a little bit.
And excuse me.
Because we talked about changing it up, so I just went to like the bioplasma ones, which didn't really seem to do a whole lot for him. And then I noticed that his breathing was getting worse, so I put him back on the cell salts. 7 and 8. Yeah. Right
now, what comes in is more on the number 7. Less on the 8 for now. If he has like having chronic crisis, you can use them like 5 minutes, and then let it go, right? And then you can see how he's doing, right? So, and then wait for like 10 or 15 minutes, see where he's at, right? And see how he's doing, because the 7 is really great for the congestion in the lungs and stuff, right? Yeah, like if he's having a lot of hoarseness and a lot of coughing. And the salts that we're talking about are homeopathic cell salts. They're homeopathic medicine. We've talked about this before. We have sets of 12. They go with the stars in astrology. See, there's the corner. It tells you what they all are. You can research all this stuff. Don't just do stupid shit and do what you hear me saying here to other people. Ask God, ask love, go to your doctor, your veterinarian, right? And get and do your research, right? Do your research. Ask love what is best, right? So you can make your best choices from your heart, all right? But you make those choices, okay? Just like Mark does, right? So, but this is what is coming in for him. Okay, from universe, God, love, angels. The 7, and that you'll notice right away, right? When you do that he will have that you'll notice the changes right away. So when it's acute like that, you can do that. Like there's been times when in the past when I've gotten like I'll be driving and I'll get a severe migraine headache and all of a sudden I can't see. And I'm like, okay, God, which ones do I need now to do this? And they'll tell me, they'll be like 10, 11, 9, 10, 10, 10. You just see what I'm saying? So they just talk to me and then they'll just hit me with it. And then boom, within like less than 5-10 minutes, the whole thing is gone. Because what it is a cell deficit. It is a deficit in your cells. So when Lucky is at a deficit, his cells aren't working properly. And that makes sense because he had the heartworm sickness, right? So he's got some scarring and let's say some damage in his physical body that gives him a propensity where he's more prone to this. Do you see what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, and Lucky is a black lab, and Mark adopted him, and he has 3 legs, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he's awesome. I think you guys have met him before. Anyways, I know you guys have. So that's what's coming in. Do you have him on a food, right? Because what happens is when you can give him what he needs right now is stability as well. Mm-hmm. So when you give him, let's see. When you are giving him his food, how long have you got him on this food? You said you switched it over 3 times. Is this a recent thing or what's going on?
I've had him on this food before. Of course, with inflation, like everything else, the price is absolutely insane for this really good food, but he does good on it, so I've just been buying it.
Okay, yeah. And there is God telling you the answer, mm-hmm. right? Just today, I was like, holy shit. I'm like, I got to buy all these supplements and I got to pay the rent, right? Yeah. So I took the fucking rent money and I said, okay, God, bring me whatever the fuck I need. Because if there's no me, if I'm so sick, there is no fucking rent. Do you see what I'm saying? There is no life. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah, I didn't take all of it, but you get my point. You know what I mean? And so this is part of all of our learning, right? Because your health has to come first. There's no health, there's no you. There's no health, there's no Lucky. Do you see what I'm saying? No health for Lucky. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. So you went back to the good food. Good for you. Yeah. So let's clear your blocks on that have anxiety about it and worry about the money. And do you see what I'm saying? Because really, what's greatest is that you have Lucky and he's amazing and you love him so much. And when he's sick, right, it stresses you the fuck out and him. And then you both have a propensity to be sick and lose your health, right? Yeah. Or, like Rachel knows about this too. All this stress, we make ourselves fucking crazy. You know what I mean? Yeah, and that's no good, and then you'll need more cell salts and you'll have to invest more money, right? And the cell salts are really reasonable in comparison to, having to take the time out to go to the doctor, to go on doctor's medicine, and they don't have, right, the crazy side effects of toxic medicines, right, most of the time. Right? Because they're in alignment with a whole system of homeopathic meds, right? And a whole when I say system of homeopathic meds, of natural medicine, so to speak. You know what I mean? Yeah. Where when you have chemical stuff, it doesn't mean that the doctor's stuff isn't good for you, right? Across the board, it can do what you need it to do, but overall, you don't want it to. You don't want to have him on it all the time, because when you use chemical stuff is when you end up subjecting yourself and your pet in this case to more toxins. But sometimes you need to get him a break and you need to use that stuff. It's when we use it all the time or for so long and constantly use different toxins that it's no good. Do you see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So there's positives and healthy in everything with love. Does that make sense, guys? You know what I'm talking about? All right. So the food, keep him on that food if you can, because that's going to help him de-stress as well. You know what I mean? Because, then he has like a routine and he can be calmer as well. When he gets excited and he gets out of the routine, right? That makes his breathing. What does it do to us? It makes our heart rate go up and he goes even more, right? Like, I know you guys like that, right? So he does that even more. You know what I mean? And so that feels good. Keep him on that food. That food feels good. Okay, and then we told you about the number 7 thing, right? So those are for acute. But then I would just do a whole like we talked about before, where you do the 7s and the 8s, right? However, more 7s than 8s. So I would do at least 4 sets of 7, at least for the next 2 to 3 weeks as he gets through this time period. Do you see what I'm saying? And in the acute situation, you want to do what I said in the beginning, where it was like 7 in 5 minutes, 7 in 5 minutes. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like if he's really and you know what I'm talking about, Mark. You're Pisces, Aries. You have this fire, and you have this super empathic gifts. You're one of us. You know what I mean? So you feel shit. So you know when Lucky's not right. We all know when we don't feel right, or our kids aren't right, or our pets aren't right. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we know. So that's what comes in for 2 to 3 weeks. See where we're at. Reevaluate it. You know what I mean? Let me just see. So also with the 7 4 times, and then in between that, do 2 sets of, if you can, of the 4 the normal dosage, right? Do 2 sets of 8. Okay, so that because that's what's coming in for him, and you do the best you can. If you can't always get to that, that's okay, but make sure he gets at least 3 to 4 sets of the 7, right? And just try to fit all that in there, and trust the universe and trust God, and let's ask God that it works out in the best way. Because if you can't be there all the time, all day for him, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So and you ask God for the best solutions, the best way to do this. Okay. And then it will happen. And thank you, God, for that for us. So, and then you got him on that. And so I would keep the medicine over here. Have you used the medicine? Mm-hmm. You did?
No, I haven't used it.
Okay.
Yet.
Because I wasn't.
I have it left over from when I had it before. So.
Okay. Good.
Like a half a bottle, and it was like $300 for
okay.
the bottle.
All right. What?
I was bitching about how much the medicine costs.
Yeah. Well, the nice thing about the medicine is you can put it in your medicine cabinet, and you know that it's there if you have a crazy ass emergency. Right. That's what critical care and Earthworld medicine, that's the direction it's going in, for sure. Right? Where we have these mad emergencies where we're either so sick and we didn't realize it, or we didn't take care of ourselves, just like with heart attack people. You know, you get a heart attack, you got to rush to the hospital, and you got to get critical care medicine. That's really where it's heading to. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. When that part of the medicine or medical health field, you know what I mean? Right. In Earthworld, like traditional Earthworld medicine. Mm-hmm. So you take that medicine, right, and you put it over here so that if you need it, you have it for that, right? And that's what you'll find. Like a lot of times, you know, medicines are expensive, and you can hang on to them for longer than you think. So if you don't think it's good or not, you can ask God if it is. You can also get a second opinion, obviously from the doctor, from the pharmacist, as well as you could also get a second opinion from me as well. You know what I mean? But you feel in your heart. You talk to God. You can also research on the internet, but remember, there's so much bullshit in the world. Gotta feel it. Gotta ask God for the God's honest truth so that you can make these choices, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And let me see. Is there anything else you want to know?
No.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, the other thing that comes in too is because he's outside, I feel like the tree pollen has a lot to do with this, his allergies. So I don't feel like it's one thing. I feel like it's a few things, and he's super sensitive, right? But right now, because of it's being this season with the pollen, it comes in. Grab a warm washcloth, right? No soap or anything. Just a nice warm washcloth and some water, and wipe him down. Okay? And, you know, if you're going to have him outside for a while, wipe him down so that he doesn't have so many allergens on him. Okay? Cool. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're good for today, right? Or for now?
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. And Steve, do you got anything? No? You good? All right. Sophia, what about you? Live audience, people. We're asking them. Good.
Well, you know, I've been having a lot of health issues. I think the main one that I want to know about right now is I think I've been getting enough sleep. You know, I think by the time everybody gets settled, I normally, I think I go to bed at like anywhere between 11 and 12, and I wake up at like 7. And I pretty much the moment I lay down, I fall asleep, and I sleep the whole time, and I sleep fine, but I wake up feeling like I didn't sleep at all, and I feel really tired throughout the day, and I just feel miserable.
Feel miserable?
Yeah, what can I do to change this, and why is this happening? I know you said a lot of it was because of my sickness, but not
right. But don't own your sickness. Do you see what I'm saying? Because your sickness isn't you. And that's a really big issue with everybody, right? Everybody thinks they have a sickness or they're sick and they're like, oh, I'm sick. And then it becomes them, right? So while you're working through this sickness, right? That would be a better way to word it. You know what I mean? And that's for all of us, because you don't want to own it and say, oh, I'm sick. And then you're sick fucking longer. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to be sick, right? Okay. So that said, what's the God's honest truth here about Sophia? I don't know if you guys heard, but Sophia, she, like all of us, has too many toxins going on, and we have we're battling basically mold and fungal sicknesses from our house and stuff. So that said, not to mention the poisons and everything else that's going on out here in the world, like we've discussed in the past. That said, Sophia is having some issues, right, in her health. And one of the things that she's been realizing, and I've been realizing with her, and we've all been some kind of tired, right? But Sophia says she's really, really tired, right? Mm-hmm. And you don't know why you're tired, correct? Mm-hmm. Okay. So I'm going to ask God for the God's honest truth. Well, one of the biggest things that comes in right now, it's for your healing, okay? So you need this rest right now. Right. And also extreme tiredness too, right? There's allergies, just like Mark's dog, and it's allergy season. So that's going to tend to make us more tired as well. Right. So there's multiple layers going on here with this. Does that make sense to you? Okay. And I'm just going to ask the God's honest truth, all the gifts and tools, all the wisdom that we need here. And they're telling me the biggest one is the heart. The heart needs to rest and it needs to heal. Okay? And that also means, dun, 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 dun. You know what that means? Yeah. Metaphysical work. Oh. No, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. In other words, doing the work in your second house, doing the work in your astrology chart, and or i.e. in your soul, right? Mm-hmm. So this metaphysically, right, truly must be healed for your physical heart to be healed. And this isn't about you not having a heart for other people. This is about you having a heart for you, which is also, not having a heart for you. Do you understand that? Yeah. I totally get that. Apple doesn't fall far from the tree. We give and we give and we give. And healers and all you guys out here too, we give and we give and we give. And what happens? We got nothing left for us. And that's part of this depletion. We start doing this work. You start saying, no, I can't do it. You start honoring you and doing some of the things that you can do and that you want to do from your heart for you. Like I know you have responsibilities. So let's make a plan and let's make sure that you get those things done for you. Because the moment you start to do things in your physical reality for you, like drawing and painting and writing, or the GED or whatever it is that you want to explore and do, or astrology classes. Do you see my point? Right? And you say, well, I have this responsibility of walking the pets, all right, and I have this window to do it. I need to take 3 hours for myself, and I need to do something exciting and fun for me. I need to live in my heart, for me. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. You don't always have to clean up or do this or give to somebody else, right? This time must be made for you. Because what they're telling me, all right, angels, God, love, is telling me that you do this in physical earth world as well as do the metaphysical work, and we're doing the health care in physical earth world for our physical bodies. All of these things will come together, and any one of these things and every one of these things will help to what? Heal you. And you can bring your shit to the shop, here, right? When you're working at the shop or working with us at the shop, right? There's no reason that you can't bring your stuff here and do your art and do your thing. Christ, Rachel took like 5 days to do a sign this big. She had a moment. And I'm like, Rachel! I'm like, but it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's Rachel's art, right? So, as long as we work together and we come from love, everything gets taken care of. Don't stress about it. And if you don't know if you can do it, ask love that you do. Ask love that you can. Right? Do you have your sign? Because it is amazing. Did you bring it today?
No, it's in the car.
Okay. So, but if Rachel could take 3 days and work on a sign and have her quote unquote non-boyfriend come and visit her, right, at the shop, right? He doesn't get a lot of shit for that, right? So Rachel really extends those boundaries. See, she doesn't usually think of it that way, but you know I'm messing with you. All right, so you get my point, right? Everything will get done in God's time and with love energy. So they're literally telling you some of the solutions here that must happen for you. Be in your heart for you. Doesn't mean that you can't do the dogs, right? Or can't do your responsibilities, right? Or take care of the dogs, you know. So this is what's coming in. We're also going to be starting a whole new holistic regimen, vitamins, minerals, herbs, right? Guided by higher knowing for you with everything that we're going through, right? Just like we're working on all of us. And it's a challenge because there's so many of us, you know what I mean, that we're working on, right? Or working together to get well with love for God, right? So does that make sense to you? They're also telling me that it behooves you to drink a lot more water. That will help you with brain fog. All right. And I'm not talking just like bottled, preferably not bottled plastic water if you can help it. Plastic isn't really what's best for you. It has its own set of toxins. However, right? We do like this water. It doesn't have to be this water, but we're talking about alkaline water with, you know, a pH. This one's 9.5, but this is going to help to alkalize, help to detox you, right? So drink plenty of water, okay? You know, if you can, what universe is telling me, if you can drink like at least 3 of these a day, I know that's a lot. I know, right? It's a lot for me. I'm bad. I get it, right? And so what do? We pray on it. We clear our blocks. We change it. Thank you, God, for that for us from love, right? Okay. Yeah. So I know. So if it's overwhelming, just start with what? One. Thank you, God. And do half in the morning and half in the evening, right? Or 1.5. One, half here, half in the afternoon, right? And ask God that you do it. Ask love that you do it. You know what I mean? So you got this, because I got some of the same challenges, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they're telling me this will help to flush out your system, right? It flushes out and detoxes. This is for everybody as well. Yeah, right? And so this is going to help you. It's going to help with the brain fog. It's going to help with the congestion. That's another thing for you with Lucky. You could use the alkaline water. We do that with our pets as well. That'll help balance Lucky from being too acidic, right? Also, it will help flush him and get rid of the toxins and the phlegm too, right? Because the phlegm, the congestion, right? It all builds up in there. Okay.
I've been giving him bottled water lately, which is a first because I just always
see, you're already on it. Yeah. So Mark's saying he's giving him Lucky bottled water. You know.
That's because Rachel told me to.
Here I am thinking Mark tapped into it, but he did though. But you know, and I'm thinking it's more literal, right? But really, you did tap into it. Rachel brought you the answer. Do you understand? You're worried about Lucky, and the answer came from God. You send those vibes out to universe, and the answer comes through Rachel to you, right? And now you're getting it tweaked a little bit more, so it's even better from love energy. Not that I'm better than Rachel or nothing like that, but it's universe putting you on the best path for you, for Lucky's best health, and yours as well. Because when Lucky's not healthy, Mark stresses. Yeah, and that's not healthy for Mark. Yeah. Okay. So you're good. Sophia, do you see? Yeah. And again, just like we always talk about, you know, the less toxins, the less chemicals in our foods, right? All of this, sugars, pastas, bread. So start incorporating. What really comes in these days is blueberries, right? For super antioxidants for healing, right? And also those digestive enzymes, right? I like the Pure, but there's other brands as well. Pure digestive enzymes, right? And there's different ones of them, right? One, and this is compliments, the digestive enzymes were compliments of Dr. Steve, right? Because he's a super gifted healer as well. He's in our audience tonight as well, right? This is some of his gifts that he's shared with us too, right? So that you can digest and get more nutrients and heal your gut, right? Help to heal your gut, right? And then you can process and get the best out of your food at whatever health space you are in at the time. Yes, as much as possible, right? Along with the other vitamins, minerals, and herbs. So blueberries, fruit, vegetables, of course, right? The least amount of pastas, sugars, caffeines, tobacco, smoke, chemicals, all that stuff, right? And they're telling me, and get up, you know, move around, do things, do physical things instead of just laying on the phone. right? We all like to lay on the phone, and we all, and it's such like almost like addictive sometimes, you know what I mean? I do the same thing, you know, I'm like, oh, I'm just going to sit here for a minute and get on my phone, and then before you know it, an hour goes by, and I'm like, fuck, I got shit I got to do, you know what I mean? But it's good because it's healthy, because you want to oxygenate. And when you move around, you get your blood flowing, just like when you exercise, you basically exercise when you walk the dogs. You know what I mean?
I spend like half the day walking the dog.
Right. So, and I feel some, animosity and don't like that.
Sorry.
No, and that's okay. I can feel that rising up. Right. No, don't be sorry.
I'm sorry.
So, no, it's not something to be sorry about. It's okay. But it shows me that you have resentment, right? Because you have to do these duties and you don't like it, right? And that's okay. So let's clear that out and let's ask God for the best solutions from love. I'm glad you shared that, because this shows everybody how in real life we do this stuff. You know what I mean? So Sophia, one of Sophia's jobs is to help us out, is walking our pets, right? Taking our pets for walks, right?
Yeah, and I really don't mind it.
Yeah.
I guess I got triggered when you said that I need to move around more.
See that? She's already got the psychology of this town, right? She goes, I got triggered when you told me I had to get off my ass or move around more, right? Yeah, but you know what? It's like an epidemic, really. Do you know what I mean? You know, in other words, people spend so much time on technology. When I was a kid, we were outside all the time. And I know everyone says, oh, well, that's the way it used to be and all this shit. But that doesn't negate or change the fact that we have to move. We're in physical bodies. And I have to move too, right? But if I'm so sick that I can't move, then I have to find ways to move and make sure that I get around enough and I get the nutrition and the things that I need so that I can get back in my best health so I can what? Move. Yeah. So then, because then it becomes a cycle. And this is why people stay unwell, because they don't know how to change it, and they stay in these cycles over and over and over, and then it gets to a point where they can't move, they can't walk, they can't exercise, right? And then it's like it turns down, and they don't know how to use vitamins, minerals, and herbs and natural stuff and work with God and clear their stuff to change these things. So they stay in these cycles pretty much, and then they have a chronic illness, and then of course then they own their illness, or it becomes them, or it becomes their identity. I'm sure all you guys out here know people who their illness is their identity. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I have this and I'm going to die and I just don't know when. And I'm like, stop. You have the power to change anything. Okay? So I'm going to ask God that all this consciousness and all these energies, just like what you said, that I tweaked you, right? I'm great at that. No. And let's clear the consciousness in you that feels bad and sorry, because all that is, it came out for a reason so you can heal it. Do you see what I'm saying? And I'm not mad and I'm not pissed off. I know it's a bitch to have to walk dogs every day. I know that, right? So, sometimes it's a bitch for me, with my aching body to get up in the morning. And I'm like, oh, God, It's like, fuck, I don't want to get up in the morning. I get it, right? We're human beings and we have feelings. So we can't say these feelings aren't real, right? Or these emotions or these habits, these patterns, these beliefs, or this, and all the emotions tied into it, energy. Right? It's us. It's part of us. It doesn't become us, right? It is part of us, right? So this energy that is just energy that you're talking about, so we can pick it up, like metaphysically, energetically, and remove it from your soul so that these things go away. Do you see what I'm saying? You know what we do, right? So this is how it really works, right? So then you won't have these feelings. And then you ask God for the best way to do this, the best solutions, the best help, the best assistance, the best of everything we need with everything. Thank you, God, for that for us from love. And clear our blocks that stops that from happening. And all energy that is all of this, right? Thank you, God, for us connecting to it. Thank you, God, for us connecting to it emotionally. Thank you for us taking this energy and feeling it, healing it, clearing it, being free of it, and releasing it. And in place of this, put the best way to be from love in the purest form, in place of all of this. In this reality, any reality, and all that is, thank you for these gifts in our souls and in all we are, be, say, do, and create in the best way for us and all of something better. And thank you, God, for that for us. Cool as shit, right? Yeah. So whenever you feel like this, or you don't feel like getting up, ask God that you do. Ask God to clear it out, just like yoga girl over here, or stretching girl. When she doesn't feel like it, just like me, there'll be times when I'm like, oh, fuck, I have like 20 appointments today. I'm like, oh, my God, I want to just lay here in bed. And I'd say, okay, God, give me the energy to do this. Let me love this job. Let me love these people. Let me get up. Let me do it. Let me help me. Let me help them. Let me have the best gifts, tools, way to do this, whatever I need from love. That is best. Thank you, God, for that for us. And this is for all you guys, right? Because this is what we do. And this is your fastest, easiest, best, quickest way to your greatest life in this new world, whatever you do, you say? Yeah. And it's everyday application all the time. You know what I mean? Yeah. So how better to see it than see us do it here in real life all the time on our shows. And this is all part of what we do in all of our shows, whether you come to the medical intuitive one, the Right Thing from Love show, or you come to the forum on Sunday nights, the live talk forums, right? Okay. So that said, any more questions that you need guidance with? Steve's got one. Hold on. But let me just finish with Sophie. What? What'd you say? Do you have anything?
No, thank you.
You're good?
Yeah.
You're welcome. Feel better already, right?
Yeah, I still feel like an ass, though.
So Sophia says she feels like an ass, right? Been there. My whole life is about being an ass. So clear, heal, and change all this, right? All energy that is all of this in all of us that feels like an ass, because really there's no need to. You know what I mean? All right. And that's really when we feel like an ass, we're just beating up ourselves. You know what I mean?
Oh, God.
Yeah. So that's a less than self-love space. Yeah, wild shit, right? And I'm getting to you, Steve.
No, it's okay. I just thought of something else, so that's good.
Okay, so you getting a whole collection here, whole list?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So I'm just going to ask universe to clear, heal, and change and release all this energy. Let us connect to it emotionally and in all that it is. Clear, heal, and change all this, and in place all and let us be free of all this. Clear it, heal it, change it, and also let us feel it, process it, and be free of it. And in place of this, put the best way to be, all energy that is all this, and in place of this, put the best way to be from love in the purest form in this reality, any reality, and all that is. And thank you, God, for that for us. Okay. And that said, you guys can always do a simpler version of this. When I do this, I get the crazy on, and I just get guided by universe for what we need to do in the moment, right? So you can also use all these techniques with what I do here with you. But if it's overwhelming, you can just make it simple. Thanks, love, for me being free of this and putting the best way to be in place of all this from love. Very simple. And you can do that all day long, every day, throughout your life, right? And with your health, with everything. Okay. That said, you're good, right? Thank you, girl. You're welcome. Thank you. Okay, Dr. Steve, what do you got?
I want to clear that exact thing when you or someone else is trying to help me and you say something that kind of triggers me. I go into defending. What do you mean? I do walk. I blah, blah, blah. And I'm so busy defending and resisting that I'm in my head thinking about all the ways you're wrong and I'm right, that I miss the whole point of the benefit, the lesson I'm supposed to be getting.
Okay.
And the other thing, you said something about second house. So I found I have part of fortune in the second house when I read it, and it seemed something that needs to be cleared. So any issues related to part of fortune in the second house?
Something you want to talk about?
No.
I totally get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is a tough forum sometimes, because we got to get down to our shit, and sometimes we don't always want to talk about our shit. You know what I mean? I get it. Yeah. Okay. So you want to clear these things that are going on in you. Yeah. So Dr. Steve had 2 habits and patterns. One was in his astrology, listed in his astrology in the second house, part of fortune. So he has something in there that he didn't like, but he's not comfortable sharing it with everybody, and that's okay, right? Because some of this shit is really personal, right? Wait till you get into Leo and Pluto and the moon and really bizarre sexual stuff. I mean, things like that are really great darkness or dark magic and cultism and all kinds of crazy garbage of toxic, right? These things can all be in your chart, but they can very simply be, it's whatever tweaks you. It could be what humiliates you, what doesn't feel good about you, or feeling like somebody else is better than you. So Dr. Steve has a placement ultimately in his astrology, an aspect that has lots of different psychological or energetic things going on in it, because it's both physical, it's energy in all ways. So he's asking to clear this out. So we're going to do that now, as well as he has a habit and pattern that kind of fights, right? Like he works with me, and just like everybody here, right? So what happens is he kind of fights, when universe guides him to wisdom, and he wants to, be in an ego space where he wants to fight that wisdom and say, I'm right, you're wrong, kind of thing. And this is all part of this journey, right? It doesn't mean that an ego is toxic. It just means that, is this the healthiest space for you to be in with it? Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah.
The general pattern of getting in my head and quit listening to what people are saying. I get so stuck in my head, I don't even hear what you or anyone else is saying.
Yeah.
I'm like, instead of that whole listening to learn, I'm listening to respond and defend myself. So
right.
I quit even hearing what you're saying.
Yeah. So, and he's also saying listening to respond and to defend himself, right? And what is that? It's another less than self-love space, right? When we're not even hearing what's going on because we're emotionally like wounded, you know what I mean? And then we can't respond from a healthy space, of love, right? For us, we can't even, a lot of times, that's why so much dysfunction happens, right? That's why there's so many murders, right? So many murders. And it's funny you say the second house. Taurus is the governor of second house, right? And Taurus is all about passion and sensuality, right? Yeah. So it's crazy, as is Venus about relationships, right? And when you think
relationship stuff, and it's in Libra.
Right. But I'm just saying Taurus is the natural ruler of the second house.
Yeah,
right. And Libra is also Venus. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. But here's the ass kicker. This is exactly why there is so many crimes of passion out there. Because we get all wrapped up in it emotionally, and then we start going nutso about being right and all this crazy shit and beliefs, right? And then somebody ends up murdered or somebody does us wrong, and we can't see clearly because we're what? We're all emotionally involved in it, and this is why that happens. Crazy shit. Because when we're at a less than space in us, right, it's going to come out because we emotionally what? Feel it. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah, crazy wild shit, right? We feel it. And when that happens, it manifests in us, right? So I'm just going to take all of this. It can manifest in our reality. I'm not saying that everybody who's a Taurus is going to murder somebody, but I'm just using this as an example for crimes of passion, because it turns out universe has guided me to share this with you, right? Because Taurus is the most prominent sign for crimes of passion like that, right? It's pretty neat shit. And it runs, Venus is the planet that governs Taurus, as well as relationships, and Libra as well. Okay, so this is one of the things that comes in, just like Sag placements, right? Is like a man-beast combination, and you'll get a lot of serial killers that have prominent Sag energy. It doesn't mean that if you're a Taurus, you're going to kill somebody. That's not what I'm saying here, or that you're a Sag, that you're a serial killer. I'm a Sag rising. So, but Sag has savage energy sometimes, right? like people don't like it sometimes when I call them on their shit, but I'm not trying to be mean and nasty. My job is to tell you that God's on his truth. Why? To help you. Because if nobody does that, then we can't change these things, and we stay in these toxic cycles, and that's way worse than me calling you on the shit for 2 seconds in the moment, and then we clear it out and it's gone, right? Yeah. You tell me, what's worse? Living in eternity in Dante's hell of suffering, or saying, okay, I'm going to address this that doesn't feel good right here, right now. I'm going to free me from it, and then it's gone forever. Holy shit, right? To me, there's no comparison energetically, right? So the more we do this work, the better we feel. The more wiser we become, the better decisions and actions we make in our reality. And as well as in our physical, with whether our diets, our health, our choices in business, work, relationships, everything. And everything is interconnected. It's incredible, right? And everything that we're talking about is your health, right? So I'm going to take all this and I'm going to clear it out. You good? All right. So I'm going to do this a lot tonight, because obviously I'm being governed by spirit or universe or God or love to do this work, because these prayers, this is energy work. Words, thoughts, emotions, create. I put that stuff out there, right? And, just like when you were like, oh, I wonder what's going to be on TV next, and then something flashes on the TV. This is exactly what we're doing, but we're using this energy to remove stuff out of you. Do you see? It's so simple and so easy, and it's just working with the law of love energy in universe, both here in Earth world, as well as this is the governing factor, all that is God, that is love, right? Universal law. Okay. So that said, we're going to clear this out. All energy that is all of this, that has to do with everything we talked about tonight with Dr. Steve, and from our whole entire time and on the show tonight, all that is all this. Thank you, God, for us connecting to it emotionally and in all that it is. Thank you for us feeling it, healing it, clearing it, and being free of it. And in place of this, God, thank you for putting the best way to be from love in the purest form in this reality, any reality, and all that is. Thank you for these gifts in our souls and in all we are, be, say, do, and create, and all that it is. And the best way for us to know something better. Thank you, God, for that for us, if we also desire it. And thank you, God, for that for us. So you guys are getting all this energy work right here tonight, whether you realize it or not, right? And the higher you vibrate, and the more empathic you are, and the more high-end consciousness you are, and the less blocks you have, the more you're going to feel this work. You're going to see it in your reality, and you're going to know that what I'm talking about is the shit, right? It's not my shit. It is, but it's God. It's God, man. It's God. It's love, right? Anyways, okay. So thank you, God, for these gifts for us now, please. So you're good, right?
Thank you.
Okay, so who's next? Anybody on the internet?
Nikki Hopper.
Hi, Nikki.
Nikki says, I have severe sinus drainage in the back of my throat, a cough, and off and on swollen glands and achy joints. I've been using helichrysum oil on my back because I ran out of thieves. Is there anything else I can do to feel better?
Okay. All right. Helichrysum makes sense if your back is aching for the joint pain. Helichrysum essential oil. You're using the mixture or a mixture. Are you using the mixture? Is it geranium and helichrysum, or is it just helichrysum? Let me know if you can, because I'm wondering if you still have that mixture that I know that you got from our shop. Because that with the geranium, that's really great for the nerve, the mixed with the olive oil as a carrier oil. That's really great for nerve stuff and nerve pain. Like diabetic neuropathy, that kind of thing, and so it's a topical. Okay.
She says yes, whatever mixture you made.
She says yes, whatever mixture I made. Yep, it's helichrysum and geranium. Yeah. Okay. That said, and it's light olive oil. Okay, so that is helping you. I'm feeling like, and you're saying that's helping you. Okay, so what I'm picking up, Nikki, is your immune system is down. This has a lot to do with, and I'm gonna just ask God that I don't get flagged on YouTube or what the fuck ever, right? Because I'm like kind of over it. So let me be free of being over it and let me release it. Let me just see here what universe is telling me. All right. God's honest truth for Nikki. I want to know what tools that you got in your house. What kind of healing modalities do you have in your house that you have? I know you have that. So that helps you topically and will help you definitely with the nerve pain, right? And this, everything we've talked about that you're going through, it definitely will help, right? But the issue is that your immune system is down, or is lowered, at this time. And this has everything to do with all the toxins, shot shedding, all of that stuff. But I'm not going to go into it, too extensively, not for fear so much to speak, but it's a good phrase to use for what I'm talking about, because I just don't want YouTube to try to take our shit down so that our wisdom can get out to everybody. So thank you, God, for me being free of that now, please. So you got your water, right, Nick? Because they're telling me slam yourself with the water. And when I say slam it, a good number of water for you throughout the day is, what they're telling me is like 5 of these, Nick. I think you probably already do that. Especially.
Oh, my God.
What?
5 of those?
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah.
Just sit on the toilet.
But everybody's chemistry is different. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So I wouldn't, I recommended Sophia, and you don't have to do that all at once, Nikki. You start one at a time. But I feel like you were already drinking a decent amount with your other health stuff that you got going on. So that said, this isn't for everybody. This is for you. If you know Nikki, too, she's a taller girl. You know what I mean? She's not, like teeny weeny. Right?
Oh, I know. I was more reacting like, oh my God, the thought of having to drink 5 of those a day. I was like,
yeah. So Jennifer's having anxiety for
because you recommended 3 for Sophia, and I was like, oh, okay, I could do 3. 3's a good number for me.
Yeah.
5 for Nikki. I was like,
yeah, Jennifer's having anxiety with this water drinking for you, Nikki. I'm sure we all can relate to that. She's feeling vicariously for you, right? If that's the right words, right? Okay, so that's something to clear out. Thank you, God, for that for us from love, and put the best way to be in place of that for all of us if we so desire it. And thank you, God, for that for us. Okay. So the drinking more water will help to flush the stuff out. Okay, if you don't have the thieves oil or the thieves mixture, what oils do you have? Because the other thing that comes in, all right, is your traditional remedies of chicken. Like what I like is chicken and star soup, because you can have a little bit of pasta that's really teeny, right? Or you can make your own homemade chicken noodle soup. And I know you're good at that, and you're great at that actually, in doing healing stuff with that. And depending on what herbs and stuff you have, right? Because I love the thieves as an antiviral and to really build up your immune system, right? the Thieves is an essential oil by Young Living, right? There's other companies that make it, but I think Young Living is who coined it. And overall, God guides me and tells me that it is a natural antiviral, right? There's stories about it. You can look it up. You know, there's a whole story about it because grave robbers back in the time of the plague used to use thieves so that they wouldn't get the plague and they could rob the graves, right? They would apply it topically with the carrier oil as well as very well possibly take it in internally, right? So read up on that to learn more about it, but it's really fascinating because all natural medicine has been around. They're healing tools from the beginning of time, just like our bodies heal us. So when the Earth World tells us that modern medicine or, traditional Earth World modern medicine is the only way to heal, that's bullshit. I mean, really. It doesn't mean that there's not great tools and gifts within this form for us to use. There absolutely is, right? There's a time and a place for everything and a wisdom that comes with that if we work with God or love, right? Always, always. So I'd like to know what tools you have to work with so I can direct you to what you need, because you can just as easily go out and get the thieves oil, right, that you don't have, right? And I can mail it to you as well, right, if you want us to mail you some. Good night, Steve. Thanks for coming. Thanks. All right, so let me just see here. So traditional chicken noodle soup is great because it's going to remove congestion, right? So it's kind of like your homeopathic old world remedies, right? Your parents, your grandparents did when you grew up. There is really good gifts and tools in this. Just like you would use ginger ale, a soda, right? And normally I wouldn't say go and drink lots of soda, right? But sometimes you can use ginger ale to settle your stomach. You can use Coca-Cola as well, right? Coca-Cola is really great sometimes when you get migraines, right? There's different combinations of things to use that you could use Coca-Cola with, right, to help you with a migraine in the moment if you don't have certain tools, right? So these are all things to look into. Like when my daughter was in school, I think one of the combinations her pediatrician told us was working with I think it was Benadryl, Tylenol, and or ibuprofen, right? One or the other in this case, and a Coca-Cola, right? But there's a certain amount and a way that you would do that, right? But that's like a doctor's medicinal way of using Earth World tools, right, to help you with headaches, with headaches, like when you would get those migraines, right? So that's like one way of like how medicine can morph and change and how you can utilize tools in Earth World, right? But again, don't just do what I'm saying here. Look this stuff up. You follow your heart. Listen to God. Talk to your doctor, okay? Okay, so that said, these are some of the tools, right? You can use Coca-Cola also to settle your stomach, right? Sometimes as well as the ginger ale, right? The other thing that comes in, right, with throat issues, right, is we use this a lot for a bunch of different remedies, is Himalayan sea salt, okay? And you're going to get like a mug like this, and this mug was given to me, compliments one of my clients. See, it's got little moons and stars like astrology, like the stars, right, like the stars. And then my favorite part is this was from Bailey, right? Thank you, Bailey. I love it. And it has these little moons in there. See the moons? Say, it's cool shit, right? All right, so anyways, all right, I'm totally off subject now. Okay, so what I want you to do is, get a big mug like this, fill it up with like your pH water, right? You're going to fill it up, right? You're going to heat it up. You can heat it up in a pot, right? And then you can pour it right in here. So you want to make the water nice and warm. Not super, super boiling. It doesn't have to be, but it needs to be hot enough so that it melts, right? And you want to stir up the salt water, right? And what I'm getting is a tablespoon. You can mix it in there, right? And then what you're going to do is you're going to take it, pour it in another cup, right? Or you can drink out of there, and you can sip it, all right? And what you're going to do is gargle with it, right? Go all down in here, get it all down in here, and do that several times a day. You'd be amazed how much that's going to clean up the inflammation, because I feel like it's all in your teeth, it's all in your sinuses, it's all like all throughout, right? And the other thing that a lot of people will use, I don't know if any of you know about a neti pot, okay? Because a neti pot, a lot of people like to use them. I don't particularly, because with my immune system, especially right now, now. My immune system is lowered, so I don't like to use neti pots too much. They sell them at the drugstore, right? It's a variation of some kind, like a homeopathic remedy that's kind of like this. And what it does is it's to irrigate your sinuses. I personally did it a few times way back when, and I can tell you that it does help, but it's not for me. And one of the reasons is because I tend to get a lot of cold sores because of the immune conditions that I have, especially right now. So whenever I mess with my nose, it's like, or my mouth, right, I'll end up with like cold sores, and I'm like, shit, right? I don't like them. They're not very comfortable, right? Because my immune system is down. So you have to take a look at your health across the board. And if you don't get cold sores, great. You can look into this and do the research on it. Make sure you read the directions, ask your pharmacist too, right? But also, with this, so you're gonna like gargle with that salt water, and then you spit it out, right? You don't want to burn your mouth, of course, right? Do it 2 or 3 times throughout the day. You can do it up to 4 times, I get, depending on how much your throat, your sinuses, and it's gonna help you within like 2 to 3 days. You're gonna be like right up back to normal. Okay. Also, get rest. Stay away from pastas. Stay away from sweets, sugars, chemicals, smoke. Highly vaccinated people in mass amounts, really, right? And get rest, right? Also, eat lots of fruits and vegetables, because these are tools. If you don't have certain tools, these are all tools that we pretty much have every day in our houses that we can use all the time, right? Have your chicken noodle soup, right? But you don't want to have it filled with noodles, because that's going to kind of negate it, because the noodles are some of the very things a lot of times that throw off our immune system, because it's wheats and there's so much more going on, right? And it aggravates us because our immune systems are at a deficit. Okay, so there's certain things that are going to inflame us even more depending on what stuff you have going on. So this is particular to Nikki, but all these tools can be looked into for everybody here as well as everybody out here to help you, So also fruits. Whenever you're sick, load up on fruits, berries especially, but not just one kind 24/7, different kinds of berries, right? Different kinds of berries, different kinds of fruits. What comes in for you, Nikki, is pears, peaches, blueberries. Strawberries is a no, but raspberries is a yes. Also bananas. There's something about your potassium being off, okay? So these are all great ways to get those vitamins and minerals and things that you need out of antioxidants out of the foods that you eat. So beef up on these natural things and make sure that you're aware of the other stuff that you're eating, right? And stay away from milk and cheeses and stuff, right? And dairy kind of products, because that tends to cause more phlegm and congestion, okay? It doesn't mean that you have to do that forever, right? This is just the nature of these items in the world that we live in. And I'm telling you this so that you can get to the best health with what you have going on in your home. What to take, what not to take, how to use this, when to use this, meaning whatever you have in your arsenal of healing tools and gifts. And this is great, especially in these times, because when we go to the supermarket, we might not be able to get the medicines that we need, right? Or the easy fixes or the foods that we need. So if you have these things in your house, which a lot of times we do, but even like places like the 7-Eleven, let's say you're really sick and you can't go to the supermarket. When I was single all by myself and I used to work a crazy night job, or I was so fucking exhausted I didn't want to go to the store, right? I would go to the 7-Eleven. Yes, you pay premium prices, right? However, that's what you're paying for, the convenience of being able to get what you want, when you want, in 5 seconds, not be around a lot of people. It's right around the corner. And so, these are all gifts and tools from universe. It's all about what you value, right? And so if you're really exhausted and you don't want to go to the store and you don't want to be around people and you don't want to fight for a parking lot, 7-Eleven is great. If it's close, it's around the corner, it's convenient. Yeah. So maybe you pay a little bit more, but how are you paying? You're paying in dollars, or are you paying in energy? How are you paying? Do you understand? Is this your well-being, the extra sleep, the extra rest, the extra stress that you won't have because you just went to the 7-Eleven at 3:00 in the afternoon when nobody was there, right? And that is worth the fucking $5 you might pay for a fucking banana or Coca-Cola. It's about what you value, right? Same thing when I was talking about, the rent. If there's no me, if there's no good health for me, who gives a shit about the rent? Because I don't exist anymore. Do you see? So, and this is what the whole world is learning right now with everything that has gone down. We are all now in a new territory, a whole new world about how we must value ourselves, how we must value our health. Do you see? How we must love ourselves, right? Yeah, it's crazy shit. Crazy shit. And things that we all take for granted are going to be now more valuable than ever, right? Because the universe, right, through these experiences is showing us how to love ourselves, how to take care of us, where all of our weaknesses are, in our souls, in our hearts, for us, right? So many of the people that end up getting the COVID-19 shot, the issue is, right, their souls want to exit the planet, right? Yeah. Crazy shit on some level, right? Because your soul calls in everything for you, everything, right? And creates it out here. Yeah. It's a hard drink to sip, really, when I talk about that, right? So that said, all these tools should help you, Nikki, or will help you if you do them. I'm just looking into these things, seeing anything else for Nikki God that comes in for her with all of this. Oh, Nikki. You have a set of these, and if you don't, you better get one, girl. All right, those are the biochemic cell salts, right? So you can use those as well, right? Like Mark said, he used the bioplasma mixture, right? You can use that if you're sick, if you want to change it up a bit. That comes in for you, all right? Because that's a combination, right? In the little Highlands jar, right? It's a combination that you can use for when your immune system is down, and that's basically how they market it as well. The other things that come in for you, right, with the congestion, if you're having chest congestion, number 7, you could do 5 and 6 as well. All right, these two will go with that to help that, as well as the nerve issue, the aches and pains, right? Number 8, Mag Phos, right? That is for your one of the things it does. Now, this isn't the only thing that it does, but this is what's coming in for you for these issues to help and assist you. You have the Mag Phos, right? And that's for your muscle aches, your pains, your cramping, your heart, your circulatory, right? And so are some of these other ones as well, right? Because there's multiple cell salt systems and there's multiple cells in our bodies, and they all work together to make up the whole complete package. So usually when one is at a deficit, there is other ones that are at a deficit, but we want to nail the biggest ones right now in the moment for what you have going on right here, right now with you and your health, right? So what also comes in is number 4 and number 10, because these are the salts that are going to help you hugely, all right, with cleansing your blood system, right, getting the toxins out of your blood, right, and as well as intestinal stuff. And then number 9, right, that Nat Mur is really great if you're having stomach issues, like you can't crap or you have diarrhea, things like that, anything to do with your tummy, right? Nat Mur, the number 9, usually comes in. So so this is what comes in for you. Your 9, your 10, and your 4, your 5, 6, 7 for congestion, and your 8 for the muscle stuff and the heart stuff, along with all the other stuff. You don't have to do all of it all the time. You can PM me for the exact amounts, right? But how I do this, when universe says all of this stuff, right, I feel in my heart, and I just, when I'm doing it, I'm like, okay, God, what cell salt do I take now? And they tell me literally a number, right? And I'm like, okay, right? And now, so make it in those cell salts that I just told you. Do you see what I'm saying? So whatever one that you need in the moment, that's the one that comes in for you for the best assistance that you need in that moment, for the biggest piece for your best well-being in that moment. Do you see what I'm saying? All right. So like if I told you all those numbers, okay, God, what one do I take now? And then you could say, well, 15 minutes. What one do I take now if you're feeling rough, right? But as a natural cleanser, you can't go wrong with 4 and 10. You can't. All right, really, because it's always going to help you to get those toxins out, right? And again, use these. I feel like you could go through this whole regimen for 5 to 7 days. See how you're doing. You can do it up to 2 weeks, right? And then take a break. See where you are. But I feel like you're going to need it a lot less than that. If you do everything that I said here, it's going to be like 5 to 7 days and you're done with this. Your immune system will be a lot more built up, but I feel like you're going to start to feel better right away with all these things right away, especially, with these things. These really help. Like, these are a great acute thing, as well as they're going to help you get well across the board, right? I use them for cancer and seizures for my dogs. And it's just incredible stuff. I mean, there's so many healing things that nobody knows about, like people know about them, yeah, but they try to make you not aware of them in Earthworld because it's, we're in the middle of that whole toxic zone here where it's super unhealthy, and if you buy their pharmaceuticals in traditional modern medicine and you get on them and you go to the doctors all the time and all this stuff and you're constantly sick, well, they make lots and lots of money. But it's not truth of God about whether they're here to really help you be well or not, right? Yeah. So this is all the challenges we're in these times, So the healthcare market is definitely at a deficit, and this is also why most definitely why we're doing the show. A big chunk of it. Okay, so Nikki, all these things said and done, you should be able to be doing great, and you should feel better, even tonight. Just like when we talked about the blood sugar thing when you called me the other night with your blood sugar spiking and stuff, right? And we did boom, boom, boom. By the next day, you were doing great. The same thing's going to happen if you do these things. Of course, you can't cram everything into between now and tomorrow morning. You got to get some rest, right? But you get my point there. So start doing it, girl, and just do the acute thing. Like I said, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. If you don't know how, PM me and I'll show you how to do it, okay? Or I'll give you guidance from the universe on how to do that. But, you got this. So you're going to get well really quick. All right, girl? All right. And remember, when your immune system starts to go down, that means you have to do some things to be attention and pay attention to your health. And this again is for everybody. Gotta pay attention to your health and what's going on with your body, because when we don't, it escalates into bigger things, right? Just like me with this fucking mold sickness, right? It started good Lord, like 3 years ago that I started to become aware of it. And, and then I went to the doctors and all this crazy shit and nobody could help me. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm talking to God, but this is all part of my journey. Right? So I can be the best healer I can be. I can work with God all the time, and I get better and better and heal and work on healing me, right? And heal me and change everything from love as I go down this destiny and step into my new life, my new dreams, my new happiness, right? Whatever that may be for whoever and all of us, right? For each one of us, right? Because my story is your story. The greatest you can be. Who doesn't want to be that, right? But you got to be well. You got to be well in your physical body. And now in these times, we can't be disconnected from our physical body. Can't, because we can't stay here. All right. So that said, who's next and what time we got?
It's 8:36.
Okay, 8:36. Go ahead. Who's next?
Susie Lynn.
Hi, Susie Lynn. Thanks for coming. Thank you, everybody, too, for coming. Thanks. Go ahead.
She's asking what cell salts will help her dog Ranger for hyperactivity. Ranger is a Great Dane lab mix.
Oh, Ranger. Well, the first thing that comes in is Ranger needs to get enough exercise. I'm sure you know that. Is Ranger a man, a boy dog, a male dog rather? Because he feels like he is. And his name kind of lends itself to that. Okay, God, let me just clear this energy out and... yeah, he definitely needs to get enough exercise. He's pretty wound up. Okay, what are the best salts for him, God, for calming him, and gifts and tools that he can use, or that Susie can work with to help him? God's honest truth. Okay, there's 3 that came in for you, Susie, and normally I would say what comes in is 4, right? In the traditional earthworld ways of cell salts, the number 4 comes in. But what's interesting for me is God is telling me the primary ones for now for this. And again, it wouldn't be forever all the time, but for now and what you're going through and what he's going through with his life and everything that's going on right now, because there's been a lot of chaos going on in your house. So he feels more wound up than before, like the fire and the smoke and the emergencies and the friend passing away, right? He feels your energy, so he knows what's going on. So the numbers that come in for him are 3, 7, and 10. My people are a piece of work. They're always like fucking around over here on the side. Hard to pay attention, right? So 3, 7, and 10 are what comes in for him. And I feel like 2 to 3 weeks. And if you need directions in general, let me know, and we'll guide you to exactly what you need. You know, you can PM me, girl. Let's see. Yeah, and I'm just looking. Anything else? Yeah. Yeah, he needs enough exercise. He's been super stressed out. He picks up on everything. And he feels like he's got to be like the matriarch of everything almost. Regardless of whether he is or not, he feels like that. He has to be. He has to make sure everything's all right. Like I got this little Chihuahua mix named Tucker. I think you guys have seen him, right? And he comes on the show and he wants to police all the other dogs, right? But Samson is like 20 times Tucker's size, right? Yeah. So, and Samson is we've talked about Samson. He's a little he's a big guy. He's a bear, like literally. So he doesn't always. We have to just keep an eye on that stuff. So, but the reason I'm telling you about Tucker is because your dog Ranger is very much like him. He wants to police and see about the right thing, right? So even if he doesn't act like he's doing that, he has that energy in him running. Okay, sometimes you'll see it more, but he's got that going on. So again, 3, 7, and 10. 3. Let me just ask them. What they're telling me is 2, 2, 2. So 2 sets of each of these throughout the day for about. Let me just see. And you know the sets. It tells you how many to take on the bottle, which is usually 4, depending, but it depends on what the salt is. In other words, like sometimes there's different remedies other than these that are homeopathic based in like this. And those, let me see. Sometimes, whoever makes them, sometimes it's 5, sometimes it's 4. And sometimes with smaller animals, it will be even less, depending on if it's a cat or a dog or whatever you got going on. Just looking into this. So yeah, 2, 2, 2 throughout the day for 5 to 7, 10 days max, and this phase should be over. But yeah, the dog also needs to definitely get enough exercise. But also, they're asking me to ask you what you're feeding him. Just keep an eye on what you're feeding him, because there's something about what's in his food could lend itself to this hyperactivity. It doesn't mean that it happens all the time, but it does connect to this energy. So let's say when his immune system is down more because he's stressing out with the events that are going on, he becomes more hyper, and the food that he eats accelerates that. So if you can, look into the ingredients. If you want to send it to me, I'll take a look at it with Universe and tell you exactly what's going on there, because God will be like, do, this is good, that's not good. But again, you're a super powerful healer. You can do this yourself as well. And I feel like you totally, can take care of this as well. Yeah. So there you go, girl. All right. So what do we got? Who's next?
Cindy is next.
All right.
Cindy Dunn. Thoughts on how to heal my right leg pain and muscle spasms in my legs for years.
Okay. Hi, Cindy. What happened? Do you know? Did anything particular happen when this started? You said for years. Can she answer that question, please? Because I'm wondering if you had like an accident or twisted it, because that is coming in with this. And I'm wondering, like, what's the story? Or it could be that there was an accident in your reality, that happened to somebody else. There's something about an accident with this energy. So it could be that there was a stressful time, you went through a really hard time, and this triggered this physical energy in your body. So it's always metaphysical and physical. Just like you could pull up, like for Susie Lynn, we could pull up her dog's chart, right? Or for Mark, we can pull up their dog's chart, right? Neat shit, really neat stuff. To get to more of the answers in metaphysical, right? In the heart, in the soul. Okay. Any answer?
Yet.
Okay. All right. So she wants to know, in the meantime, I'm going to get the answers. Thank you, God, for them for us now. The God's honest truth. But this metaphysical stuff is coming in first and foremost because it's super important to healing this completely. Let me see. God's honest truth here for Cindy. Mm-hmm. Cindy Dunn. Right. So you can be done with it. All right. So I don't know if you're taking any natural supplements or what medicines you're on. I would like to know that as well, if you are on any medicines, right? Because there is some things that you can look into to helping you with this, right? For leg pain. What did she say she has?
Spasm, like muscle spasms, she was saying.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say leg pain. She says her right leg pain and muscle spasms.
All right, right leg pain and muscle spasms. God's honest truth. What is the best gifts and tools for her? Okay. Well, the first thing they're telling me too with this is your diet, what you're eating. Okay, pastas, breads, chemicals, sugars, right? Coffees, teas, cigarette smoke, anything like this, and the same shit over and over. If we eat the same stuff and over, there has to be a variety, right? Fruits and vegetables filled with antioxidants, especially fruits, is going to build up this. But anytime you eat like a handful of chocolate or, breads and pastas, and you do this consecutively, you're lowering your immune system, and then you can get like flu-like symptoms from these things, like that bread flu stuff, but it lowers your immune system, and you're going to have more aggravation in the physical body with all of this, right? Your right leg is your power space, so there is work to do in there in your power space, right? Where do you not feel like you are in power? Where do you not feel like you have security or independent or can take care of you? And where do you feel like you have no power, or you give your power away, give your power to somebody else? All these things are all part of this. Your right leg, your right side is your masculine energy, and it is your power side. So all of this, it behooves you to work on metaphysically, and we're going to do a prayer to get this going, energy work prayer to get this going and change all this. All right, let's see, and clear that out now, please, God, from love. Put the best way to be from love and place this in the purest form in this reality, any reality, and all that is. Okay. Because this is circulatory, lymphatic, and this is nerve, and this is going to grow into bigger things if you don't address it. It's been like this, and you've been like handling it for a while now, but the whole world is now changed, and you're changing too. So some of the stuff that they're telling me for you to also look up into, right? Increase your vitamin C, okay? And again, you want to look into this stuff, look into vitamin C, vitamin E, vitamin D, vitamin K, all right? These are all things that do come in for you. Again, you want to have the right balanced dosage for you, right? And you also want to make sure that whatever, if you're on any earth world traditional medicines, that they're okay to take. So check with your doctor, check with your pharmacist. But these things, because I feel like what's happening is here, you are on what is the word I'm looking for, God? Bring that word to me now, please. Thank you. You're in a deficit nutritionally. Okay, so your digestive system isn't doing what it needs to do. So the enzymes are going to help this as well. Looking into all of these, as well as these babies will help as well. You can also buy books on cell salts, homeopathic cell salts as well, right? They are fantastic tools. There is a whole entire remedy for healing. It goes right with astrology, both mental and physical, right? Incredible stuff, right? And they help you for your stuff in the now, right? For acute symptoms, okay? So for your nerve nerve stuff for you in particular, if you're going to do these, as well as look into the other stuff, like I said, if you're going to do the biochemic cell salts, homeopathic cell salts. I'm just going to ask them which ones are the best ones for you. Well, with the toxins, again, 4 and 10. Okay, and then 5, 6, 7, those are great for your nerve stuff, your nerves, okay, your circulatory system, and then number 8 as well, right? And so, just like we talked about, you can PM me, and I'll give you the best ways to do this for you, right? More in depth, because I want to know what other stuff you're taking as well, if you are taking other stuff, all right? And so we can get you to the best ways to do all of this, right? And again, you check with your doctor, you check with your pharmacist. Let me just see, adjust your diet, the fruits and vegetables, 70 to 80%. We talked about all of this. So looking into those, vitamins and minerals. Also, yep, you could also do minerals as well. Trace minerals, liquid trace minerals will be really good, as well as turmeric comes in for you. I like the liquid stuff whenever possible. Vitamin D as well. But again, there's a healthy level of everything for everybody. Some, and then there's, what they tell you in the healthcare world. But here's the issue, right? When we have these supplements, if we're sick, we're at a massive deficit, right? So, and it depends on how much we're sick, how big that deficit is. So it may not be that you take the regular dosage, because that won't be enough, right? So, no medicine can help you if you don't know how to take it, or what to do with it, or when to do it, and the whole system, or you can't do it. Do you see what I'm saying? Or you don't get enough of it, and that's what I'm talking about. So all of these things will help you, but they're also telling me oxygenate, physical exercise, right? If you can, right? Whenever you can. Massage also, you could go get massages as well. If you are going to do massage, this is where it gets tricky with the shot shedding universe. I don't go for massages anymore because of this. But if you have a machine at your home, or you can use massaging tools and techniques, right? Just like warm showers. Warm showers will really help as well for this, to get the blood flow going through your body, okay? Really, not meaning hot, warm, right? Get the blood flow. It doesn't mean you have to, do soap and all that other shit that you do in the shower. Sometimes it's great to just rinse off and feel the warmth and get your blood flowing for your health. And this is what's coming in for you. I'd like to say I like the idea of massage and manual lymphatic massage, but the issues that we have right now is that when you're on a massage table and somebody works with somebody and they have all this stuff going on and they're rubbing on your naked body, there's more of a chance for you to get toxic shot shedding, which is part of my problem here, along with the mold stuff, right? No joke, right? So these are all things for you guys to be aware of. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do massage, right? You have to ask universe, God, love, energy, what is best for you, okay? It's different if they're doing it with clothes on and you, let's say, have a mask, or are using, pine needle oil, essential oil, and pine needle tea, and you're using the things to detox so that you're not putting yourself in an environment where you're going to get more shot shedding detoxing, on you, right? And then you have to keep detoxing. But so all of you who are doing massages, right, it's great for your circulation, absolutely, right? And there's different kinds of massage to help you in different ways, right? And it breaks my heart, but I haven't been able to go to and get massages because of the fact that when these people they're inoculated, right? Or so and then they have all these other people in their offices, and universe was telling me that this is part of the reason I'm sick. Do you see what I'm saying? This is no joke. So, be wise. If you're going to have a massage, do it with clothes on, or you can do it with machines and different things, because you want to find ways to not be susceptible to more toxins than you need to be, get into you, right? So that said, this is for all of you. I hope I explained that well enough. And if you have any questions, let us know here, or you can PM me. But also, There's other stuff that comes in with this, right? Just like we've talked about in the future, how they're going to have blood banks that are separate, right? And you're going to have to think about the partner that you're sleeping with, and maybe one of you got inoculated and the other one didn't, right? These are all things. So you're going to have to start detoxing from these things, right? Because this is just more of the toxins that are happening out here, right? That are affecting our health. Okay, and because the main goal is toxic, we've talked about this in our other shows as well, and so I don't go off in that direction. But these are all things that are coming in the future. I mean, you have, when I say coming in the future, it's happening now, and it's a propensity for it to escalate into crazy stuff. Because if you want to be sure that you can have a child, let's say if you're a millennial and you want to be able to have a healthy baby, so you want the best of everything. You don't want to be subjected to all these toxins or getting, inoculations, and all of that, because the propensity here, guided by universe, is, and it's already happening out here as we've talked, these toxins, you're going to have to be aware who your partner is. And the problem is people lie all the fucking time, right? Not only do they lie, I mean, look what's happening in the world, right? A lot of times they're disconnected, they're psychologically not right, they don't talk to God, they don't know what they're doing. So your best bet is to talk to God, universe, love all the time, right? And so that and in the future they're going to have to come up with solutions and all this stuff, or there is a propensity, it's in the energy that they're going to have to do all this shit, and this is coming. So you can't miss that this is in the energy, right? But for now, if you want to be your healthiest you got to be aware of these things and take this into precaution, right? Because we live in Saturn's Earth world, and if we all want to be healthy, we need to be aware of what the hell is really going on, so we can be our healthiest selves, right? So then you can use, like detox programs, and this is also what it behooves you to do, your digestive enzymes, right? If you're going to have protein with I think it's HCl and betaine, right? Pure makes a really good capsule that you can use with the food that you eat, as well as you can use the other digestive enzyme that is not with protein, right? And Pure makes one like that too, Pure products, right? But other companies make it too. Ask God for the best one for you. It doesn't mean that has to be the only one. There's plenty. Nature's Sunshine is another great company, right? There's a lot of great companies out there. Ask God for the best one for you. Okay, so detoxing on a regular basis is going to have to be everybody's plan into the future for their best health, right? And if you ignore your health, then you have greater and greater issues, right? So this is all to help you with this. So I would look into activated charcoal capsules and or solutions. Activated charcoal. What is it? Is it Mennonite or Bentonite? And Bentonite clay, I think it is. But Google it. Look into this. I can send you some products that God has guided us to, pictures of them, so that you can check it out. But you can also Google these things. Again, there's other things to do. One of the things that some people don't like. What is it? The C60. Mm-hmm. Is it? Yeah, C60. That's one of the things that we use occasionally. But again, you have to see what meds you're on and what you're going through and what works for you. The best way to do that is ask God, ask love, do your homework, read about it, what feels right to you in your heart, and working with love, energy, and God. Get a second opinion in Earth World. Of course, always, with your doctor or your pharmacist, okay, so that you feel good that this is the best choice for you, right? Not everybody does what I do in this particular way, where it just talks to God, right, and is comfortable in those spaces. So you want to work with all the avenues that is God to what? To be sure, because universe tells you what's best for you in your reality all the time, over and over and over and over and over, right? Just like the lover that's no good for you, right? He sleeps with you, you never see him again. He sleeps with you, he doesn't call you, he doesn't do the right thing, he doesn't honor you, he doesn't take you out, you're always paying. What the fuck, right? Universe is telling you, hey, that's not the best partner for you. Where are you not the best partner for you? Say. All right, so that said, look into your astrology too, right, for all of this stuff metaphysical, right? Because it's where you're not in your heart for you. Your first, second, and third houses, your Chiron, your Black Moon Lilith, your South Node, your North Node, all these aspects, anything to do with the new moon. Moon is your fourth house. It's the house of the mother. You could also look into it comes in with your family ancestry as well as in the fourth house, or your Imam Coeli. That's a placement in your chart, right? We all have an MC and an IC in our charts, so those will have some avenues about the emotional healing from your past, okay? And that is in your family lineage as well as you came in with it. And so it was activated to create these physical things, right? The physical health deficits that, let's say, Cindy has or any of us have, in our family lineage, but it already came in our souls. Okay, so did I cover everything for her? Did she any other answers, questions, or she didn't answer?
She didn't really say anything about how it started or anything like that.
Okay. All right, and that's fine.
She did say that what you were saying was hitting home.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Thanks, God. Thanks. Okay, I'm just saying, is there anything else? For now, start here. Get back to me 2 to 3 weeks. Give it a chance. Let it go in, right? And that's the other thing. We got to give these things the chance that they need, right? Americans especially, right? It's an epidemic, right? We want that magic pill. Give me a pill, right? So I get well, right? But I don't want to do the work. Ooh, God's got a different plan for you, right? For all of us. Anybody who doesn't want to do the work, trouble is brewing, right? Because in Saturn's Earth world, you got to do the work. Now, it doesn't mean it has to be physical and it has to be tough. The bottom line is you have to dress your shit. That's all Saturn asks, is that you do the right thing from love, code of ethics, honor you, honor yourself, all right? And there's a whole code of ethics, and that's the Right Thing show on Wednesdays at 7:15. How to do things, right? Guided by love, right? How to do everything in your life with the wisdom of love, right? And that's what all our shows really are about, working with God, working with love, and we're all on this journey, right? So, if you're not comfortable with this, by all means, cover your ass, make sure you're really comfortable with your doctors and check everything out there. But you always know you're the governing factor of the best health choices for you. You feel in your heart what is best. And this is for everybody with whatever you do. But if you are doing things, whatever they are, and you're not getting the outcome you desire, then your best bet is always to bring it right back to God, because something's not right. That's the universe telling you something isn't right with your health in some way, shape, or form, and across the board in you, in your soul, right? Okay, in your life, in your reality, in your emotions, in your physical, right? Everything that you are. Okay, so I think we're good here with this. And is there any last question?
That's all the questions, but Wendy is on tonight.
Oh, Wendy! Hi, Wendy. Thanks for coming. Okay, well, Wendy made me this awesome box, right? It's beautiful. Wendy does incredible art, and I've been meaning to talk about it, but I want to talk about it. I think I'm going to talk about it on Wednesday night show, and I'm going to show you guys this cool art that Wendy made, and just like, Bailey gave me this cup, which was great to share with you tonight, which had something to do with medical intuitive, because a bowl like this is great for your salt water, right? Your saltwater, rinses, right? However, Wendy made this awesome box. Wendy is an amazing artist, makes beautiful things. And Sunday night at 7:15, I'm going to share that with you guys. So if you want to buy one of Wendy's beautiful pieces of art, you can. We probably will carry them in our Shoppe and Center. However, if you like them, you can always order the stuff through us on the Cowper Dragon page, as well as get in touch with Wendy through us. Whatever Wendy feels, I'm cool with. It doesn't have to be about us. I don't really give a shit. As long as it's great and it works best from love for everybody, that's all that matters, right? Okay, so thank you, Wendy, and thank you for my box. So I just wanted to share that with you. I told Rachel, I said, when Wendy's on, let me know. And so, because I can't always see from where I'm sitting, who's exactly there unless you guys tell me, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like I can see Mark from over here, but that's about it. He's hiding over there. All right. So thank you for my box, Wendy. It's absolutely beautiful. And I want to share it with all you guys because I don't know anybody who couldn't use one of these or want one of these. They're amazing. Okay, so I'll talk about it Sunday night. I'm going to show it to you guys because that's our live talk forum where we can do anything and everything, God and love, right? And tonight's show, again, was the Medical Intuitive. Thank you all for coming. If you can donate, do. I refuse to be a broken record. Thank you, God, for me being free of that. And so we'll see you next Friday night, 7:15 for our Medical Intuitive show, 6 and 12 Medical Intuitive, 7:15 Friday nights. And in a couple days from now, Sunday night, 7:15, your live talk forum where we're going to debut Wendy's box, right? And that's where you can bring your questions. We do the 5-minute readings, anything and everything you want to ask and know about, we do there. And on Wednesday, we do the show The Right Thing, where you can come and get solutions, whether it's court cases, divorces, more intense things. How do you deal with complex things? How do you deal with the everything in life from love? And we teach you what the right thing to do is in society, in Saturn's Earth World Society, and the rules and laws there, as well as Saturn's code of ethics from love energy, that is God, integrity, honor, respect, doing the right thing from love, right, in Saturn's Earth World. And then the biggest, hugest governor of everything and all that is love energy itself, God, universe, right? The governor of all this and universal law. And that show teaches you how to work with all of that. Okay, that in your life with everything. Okay, so thank you all for coming. You guys are just rocking awesome. And I'm so grateful for you and have the best night. Thanks so much.